Here's a negotiation mistake that could kill your deal. So I was working with my clients a few months ago, and we went to see some townhouse listings. And there's a particular townhouse that my client really liked. And this particular listing was priced a little bit high, but thankfully they dropped the price. And when they dropped the price, my clients were ecstatic because they already liked the townhouse, and the price was no longer a little bit high, but really well priced. And they told me, Gary, I love this property, what should I do? I said, I'm not sure, but let me chat with the listing agent. So I called the listing agent to find out the motivation to sell and the reduction in price reason. And I went back to my clients and I said, they didn't get any offers, so they reduced the price, and they have an open house coming up this Saturday and Sunday. I said, you could write a full price offer, or you could write a little bit lower. But I think maybe if you write pretty close to asking, we might be able to get an accepted offer. So we came in with an offer a couple $1,000s off of the listing price. And the listing agent said, no, that's not good enough. And the sellers are looking forward to the open house to see what kind of offers they'll get that time. And I said, okay. So the sellers are looking for like a full price offer or over asking. And she said, well, if you came in at asking, then there's a high chance of me closing it and all that. And I said, okay. So I spoke with my clients again, and we came in at an offer at full price. And the listing agent presented it to the sellers and came back to us and said, well, if you had come in at asking price on the get-go, there was a high chance of closing it. But because you came a couple $1,000s apart, now it's pretty hard. Now you came in at a full ask, but they're kind of wanting more. And I'm like, okay, how much more? She was like, I'm not sure. Well, I'm like, okay, well, you're not sure. Well, how can we bring our offer up if we don't know what the seller's looking for? So I said to her, bring me a counter. And then the listing agent, instead of going back to the seller and coming back to me, she was just saying, no, you just try your best. Go over asking. I'm like, well, how much? I have no clue. How do I present it back to my buyers and bring them up when I don't know where they're thinking? Are they thinking $2,000 over asking, $20,000 over asking, or what are they thinking of? So this is the mistake that the listing agent made. Instead of saying, well, let me go back to the seller and let me chat with him to find out which area. Instead, she was like, oh, just look at comparables. But the comparables are way off left field. So it's not like we're gonna pay like $150,000 over asking. It was probably gonna be like, I don't know, $1,000 over asking, maybe up to $20,000, $30,000 over asking, or something like that. Instead of going back to the sellers and getting a more precise number or range, she just said, well, if you came in at full ask on the first offer, then there was a high chance of closing the deal. But it's not like our first offer was a lowball. It was just a couple $1,000s off of asking. It was very close, maybe 99% of asking price or something like that. She was like, if your clients want to come back and bring in an offer above asking, that's great. If not, that's okay. I don't care if your clients walk away. We'll sell it at the open house. And that was like kind of frustrating because that pisses buyer agents off. Like I mentioned in another video, when you act all arrogant and like, yeah, we don't care if your clients walk away. Like, screw you. There's tons of efficiency kind of thing. It's like, it's not like it's a seller's market at that time. It was a buyer's market still. So for her to say it like that, it's kind of disrespectful. And if I were her, I would say like, oh, well, I'm not too sure what my clients are looking for in over asking, but let me chat with the sellers and get back to you. Or she could say, we've been getting a lot of phone calls about this property and everyone's looking forward to the open house. I anticipate that we may get some offers at the open house. So if your clients don't want to miss out, why don't you work with your clients and see if you can bring them up a little bit. But in the meantime, I will go back to the sellers and see if I can close this deal for you. That is a much better way of communicating, as opposed to, I don't care if your clients walk away. Yeah, we're gonna sell at the open house, so screw you. Like, she didn't say the screw you part, but it basically ended like, yeah, we're gonna sell at the open house, and I don't care if your clients walk away. That just bugs me. And I'm considered a very, very patient realtor compared to most. And so if it bugged me, I'm sure other realtors would be pissed off if the listing agent said that to them in a very arrogant tone. So this negotiation mistake really hurts listing agents. Especially when it's not a seller's market and you're trying to sell your listing and you really want to work with every single buyer agent that has shown interest in the property. You want to pull them in and lure them in and make sure you have this good relationship, because the buyer agent or the listing agent, they can frame it in a way to make their client angry at the other party. So as a buyer's agent, I have to frame it in a way to tell my buyers that, oh, well, it's a little bit difficult and it's a little bit hard. I'm not going to tell my buyer, oh yeah, that listing agent, she just sucks and blah blah blah. That's not going to make my client feel better, and my client might get pissed off. I have to frame what the listing agent said in a very cooperative, calm manner and keep my buyers in the game. Same, she should go back to the sellers and say, yeah, these buyers are very interested. It seems like we've gotten a lot of phone calls regarding this property after we reduced the price. Right now we've got a bona fide buyer accompanied by a very good buyer's agent. We should try to make this deal work. That's the right way to do it. So as a listing agent, it's very important that you do not make this negotiation mistake. And if you enjoyed this video, or if you have experienced something like this before, I'd love to hear your story in the comment section below. And I noticed that many of you have been watching my videos, but you haven't been subscribing to my channel. So I encourage you to click the subscribe button right now, hit the notification bell so you'll be notified of future videos, and I will see you in the next video.